Okay, so let's talk about the Wuthering Waves second anniversary. It is objectively mid at best. It is not exciting. The patch is going to be great, but it is not a huge anniversary boom. And there's really just no arguing with that. The only reason I think people get stuck in an argument, which is what I want to talk about today, is because of the way we frame freebies and getting stuff from these game companies in these games. So I've seen the argument, I've seen people coming around to the idea that, Kuro Games, Wuthering Waves was never generous. And that's good. I think they're saying it for the wrong reason, but they're on the right track because no, none of these games and none of these companies are generous. Not, PGR, not Nikkei, not Limbus Company, Azur Lane, Arknights. Generosity, that's what they have to say because they're trying to facilitate this somewhat friendly relationship, but you're not really supposed to believe that from company. Any company is just doing what's in its best interest. No matter how much they might like you, it's a job and it's a business. It's just, it tends to be that certain things that are in the best interest of the company are also in the best interest of the community. And that's the best kind of business there is. And that's what the situation is around the anniversary when you realize that it's not a reward for players. See, that's where you create an argument, or at least you enable an argument against the idea that the anniversary should give a bunch of free stuff. Because when you're trying to say that for some reason people who've been playing a game for free for a year, that the people who provided the game should tip the people who played the game, that is a very difficult argument to make. And it's easy for people to say, well, no, you're just being greedy and entitled, as it probably would be. Like, how can someone provide you with a service for a year and after the end of that year, you think they owe you more? And then you have the spenders and the whales, and you think, well, does the company owe them? And if they did, well, these anniversary promotions, freebies, they don't affect whales. So if they're trying to say thank you to the community, they're not doing it that way. So logically, you'd say this isn't for the people who are already playing the game. People who are already playing and enjoying the game are getting the end of that transaction. They play the game because they want to, and they continue to play the game because they like it. Whether they do that for free, whether they spend money to do that, that transaction is closed. It's weird to think that somehow someone's getting indebted in that. That's just that's a bad road to go down. The generosity is actually just a promotion like any other, like Black Friday, like every holiday that every company supposedly celebrates. They don't care. They just use it to promote their products, to promote business. And it's not necessarily a bad thing because, again, you get this symbiotic relationship. People get free stuff, but they also tell everybody that there's a promotion. There's free marketing for the company. That's the actual value. So when you look at it that way, you don't get stuck in this argument trying to say whether or not it was generous enough. It's just a question of whether or not it was a good enough promotion. And you can immediately tell that both of that is the hardest two words for me to say. I mess those words up in just about every single video. Wuthering Waves anniversaries, both of them were underwhelming, which is the opposite of what you want a promotion to do. In fact, they had to apologize for one, and then the second one is arguably less exciting than the first. So when you're looking at it from that perspective, they're either stupid, which I generally like. I don't like to assume about any business, especially when it comes to how they make money. They either misunderstand that by being stingy, you make more money, which never happens. That's not how business works. So you use Black Friday to make a lot more money. It's not a charity. Companies tend to make more during the Black Friday week than they'll make for the rest of the entire year. Look at Steam and how it booms during its various sales. These things aren't a charity. They're not doing anybody a favor. It benefits the community because they get a good deal, but they also spend a lot more money, so it benefits the company. There's no debt there. So when you look at that and you say, okay, well, if that's what you wanted to do, you didn't do it because you're not getting people to flood. You haven't attracted people to your business. You haven't attracted people to your game because of this anniversary promotion. So then the question is, well, why didn't you do that? Did you not want to make more money? Obviously not. But what can go wrong with the promotion? As we said, if you're promoting the game, the people are going to flood to it. Happened in Tower of Fantasy. You see that NTE did it right? They've been promoting various things about the game for months, and the game has been received mid to moderate reception pretty much since its inception. And it seems like it's going to be a good game, but that wasn't electrifying the community. They do one live stream, they're giving away 480 pulls, and all of a sudden you put the name in it, and everywhere you're going to see NTE saving Gacha, right? They have electrified the community. Everyone's heard about it. Everyone's going to log in. Why? Because even if you weren't going to try the game before, if you weren't interested, you're just going to collect the free stuff just in case it might be good, right? It's a layup. It's the easiest thing you can do. There's no better promotion than giving away free stuff. And so that's how you do it. And you have it right next to Wuthering Waves not doing that. Well, NTE better be ready for the flood, right? And they probably are, but you can just see with Tower of Fantasy, they kind of were not, right? So you're still going to have, they're always going to have that same honeymoon boon where it's doubly in the best interest of the company because they have to kind of get you, they have to get your account over the hump so that you can actually just start playing the cycle of the game. If you start out and you only have one character available to you, you're just not even going to be able to play the game. So all of the so-called generous things that they flood you with at the beginning of the game, it's just a booster pack to get you started. They have to do that. If they didn't, of course they're going to call it, being nice and taking care of the players, but they're calculating it very carefully to see this is what you're going to need to kind of get through the end game. Because even if you can wail on the first character, you need teams. You probably need multiple teams. So they have to fill in a lot of spots for you, kind of get you started on the game. And that's, again, what you're going to see with NTE, and what you should see with pretty much every gacha game when it starts. But it's never, oh, they're just trying to be nice, right? And it's not because they're trying to be mean. It's just good business. They're just promoting the game. They're just putting the players, especially the free-to-play, in the best place to enjoy the game. Otherwise, they're going to get bad PR and they can bury their game. But if you send that flood of players and the game's not ready, like Wuthering Waves kind of saw at its launch, you have a game that people like, that they want to play, but they ran into a lot of optimization problems. And I think in the case of Wuthering Waves, that Goliath is still holding them back. It's still standing at the gate. So the most logical reason I can see why you don't do the obvious thing that makes you the most money and makes your community happy, and like they could have given away one copy of every version 1 character and their weapon, and a selector for one version 2 character and its weapon. And they probably would make twice to triple the money that they're going to make now without giving those things. Like, because they're not selling any of that stuff anymore. And yeah, there is some potential for preserving the rarity. They're doing the math somewhere, but at the end of the day, if you give away something like that people just can't miss out on, all the people who aren't playing Wuthering Waves, they're going to hear from the people who are playing, now is the time to start, and they're going to come flooding in. The people who played and then quit, they're probably going to come back to collect the free stuff and to see where it is now. And then all of the things that you are selling, like the current banners, all of the different cosmetics and things, now you have a dragnet of millions of people that have flooded to the game. They're going to spend on it. You're going to make a killing. It's just how it works every single time. You're not going to lose money because, oh, now people didn't have to pay to get a copy of Jinsei. Because if they didn't pay for it by now, they're not going to pay for it. They haven't been waiting for a year. They either are completely free to play and weren't going to spend on their characters, or they just weren't going to spend on that character. And if they are coming to the game, they're not going to invest in an old character. You see how easy it would have been to electrify the community, but everyone would have shouted it from the treetops. Wuthering Waves is giving away free stuff, come play, right? So it's symbiotic. It would have been good for the community. It would have been easy for the company. You just have the question of why they didn't do it. So I'm going to go into that a little bit more in the next video because this one's long enough. I just wanted to kind of break the idea about these things being rewards, because it's sad seeing people get stuck in an argument that they should be winning. It shouldn't even exist. The people who are defending the company should want a better promotion. The people who are defending the players should want a better promotion. It's like, it's again, it's perfectly symbiotic between the group. So the only question is, are these companies stupid, or do they have a reason not to promote the game? And so in the next video, we're going to look at the example I've been talking about on this channel from Genshin Impact, from the infamous 3 years, 3 polls, and how you can actually attract the wrong audience, which puts you into a state where you do not want to promote the game. And you can have a game that's not ready for production or not ready for a flood, and you don't promote that either. So we'll go into that in detail in the next video, but thanks for watching this one. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. If you think that I'm wrong somehow, and that somehow some part of the system has a debt and responsibility to give gifts to the others because maybe playing a free game for somehow should earn you something, I'd love to hear that, but let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.